Om Om Sadasvasmarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु महाविद्युषावहि. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Are you able to hear the background music? So, because next attached to our place, Hanuman temple is there, and in another 2 days' time, the birthday of Hanuman is coming. So that's why the Sundarakanda Patham is going on. So generally people spend a lot of money to do Sundarakandam. So I am sitting here listening to it, okay? And interestingly, I would like to say, generally when you have any difficulties and nothing is happening and you don't know what to do, where to start, Sundarakandam is part of Ramayana, okay? So this Sundarakandam reading takes care of it. So that's why Sundarakandam reading is very auspicious. Even if listening to that also auspicious. So I don't have to do anything. So from morning to evening, so being here, just I listen to it because just it is adjacent to us. So in spite of closing all the doors and windows, still you can hear, okay? So coming to the point, so whether we should have class or question answer, tell me so that accordingly I will start. Because mine was there, okay? Very nice. Yes, please. Anybody, any of you have got questions? That's a big question. Any question? Gautam? Because when there is no question, pull Gautam, okay? So Gautam will create question.
Namaste, Swamiji. Swamiji, actually, what to do to prepare for this text, Swamiji? Like daily life, like what should we do, Swamiji?
From this text?
To prepare for this text, Swamiji, like what kind of lifestyle should we do, Swamiji?
That's a good point. So first thing is every day do some Surya Namaskar to start with. Okay? If you cannot do Padmasana, Siddhasana that we are going to discuss, at least some this Surya Namaskar. Why? I'll tell you. In fact, nowadays Stefano is not attending class. Very nice point Stefano once highlighted. He said, I am taking yoga class to maintain my body. So he, in spite of all his diet, he doesn't have, breathing space, but he makes sure that at least once in a week, 1 or 2 classes, I think 1 or 2 classes he's having. Because he says, I dropped some time, I didn't practice. And in the process, out of shape. Whereas when you have to take yoga class, at least to, give a demo, that time you will practice. And especially when I look at this text, whether I like it or not, the moment I read, I have to take this. So I have to, little bit practice to see that what is the impact to refresh my memory. So the best thing would be to practice and take some yoga class, casual of one person If nothing else, in front of mirror, be your guru. Okay, you be your guru. You be a disciple and you become your guru. Okay, that would be the best thing to do. Because when you are practicing, you can look at Elio. So he takes classes. He doesn't stop. And because he's not taking, when he's not stopping, you can see he looks much more healthier than you youngsters. Uh, so Ajit on and off, okay? So every day, no practices every day, no classes on and off. So Ajit's class is on and off because nowadays he has become more father-in-law, okay? Father-in-law, grandfather, okay? So earlier his classes were regular, nowadays on and off, okay? So because this makes a big difference. Because when you take class, whether you like it or not, you have to practice. It is like when you start taking classes, Ajit takes uh, on Bhagavad Gita class. Now, because he's taking classes, when he listens very carefully. Every aspect he has to listen to it. So I would say at least a few rounds of Surya Namaskar would be great. That's why maybe what we should do is slowly, weekly, once online yoga class will be happening. I'm coming down, okay? So instead of me, I'll ask, sometimes I'll take, anytime I can get into the class mode, okay? If not me, somebody or other will be there, and weekly, at least one class, yoga class will be there. So how many of you agree? I think everybody, okay? Vedanta, whether enters or not. So sometimes, weekend, uh, like sometimes like Indian time would be such a way that for them will be afternoon, okay? So we'll plan in such a way so that also we'll accommodate Kartik Ganeshan also because we have funny people, okay? Some people are behind, some people are ahead, some people opposite. So good question. Next.
Namaste, Swamiji. Swamiji, one general question, Swamiji, outside of the text. Swamiji, as far as Yoga Shastras are concerned, we are now learning Goraksha Samhita, and before that, Shiva Samhita, Swamiji. And Swamiji, there is a lot of, from a deity perspective, there is a lot of reference to Lord Shiva when it comes to Yoga Shastras, Swamiji. Is that a right observation? And if yes, why, Swamiji? And then Swamiji, similarly, when we do other type of Anushtanam, for example, like Sandhya Vandanam, like our Nitya Anushtanam, there is a lot of reference to Lord Vishnu, Swamiji. So what is the background based on which that deity Swarupa is taken for a particular Anushtanam or a text?
Generally, Abhyudaya Nisrayas. There are two aspects. Abhyudaya means where you see the growth. So having all sort of comforts, achievements. So in short, the first three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, and Kama. Then the other type is called Nishrayas. So that is nothing, Moksha or Tyaga. Interestingly, Vishnu is related to Abhyudaya and Shiva related to Nishrayas, Tyaga, Moksha. So generally, okay, there are certain other things also we need to look at. And also, Lord Shiva always considered as a teacher. In Vishnu avatar, except Lord Krishna. That's why sometimes we look at Lord Krishna as a Purna avatar. Means the avatar is complete, not partial avatar. Because of Bhagavad Gita teaching. Because Lord Krishna was also a teacher. Apart from this Lord Krishna's Bhagavad Gita teaching, we don't see this Lord Vishnu's avatar teaching. So always Lord Vishnu manages the situation. Whereas with reference to Lord Shiva, we see only teaching. That's why sometimes we say, even if when he brings destruction also, there is teaching. And whether it's Adinatha in this Goraksha Samhita concept, whether it's Adi Guru or popularly Dakshinamurti, all are referred to one God, Lord Shiva. That's why, especially when any yogic text comes, it is related to Lord Shiva. Why? Also, let me talk 2 points. As we discussed very carefully, in this Kali era especially, that Samhita plays a big role. The Agama Shastra plays a big role. We discussed in introduction class. I hope you remembered, okay? Kalau Sruti, sorry, Krute Sruti, then Dwapare, Smriti, Treta, Purana, and in this Kali era, Agama. I think you people have forgotten that, okay? So that is the reference for my Vicharam. So Vicharam comes from this source. And here, when this Agama comes, all Agamas generally divided into 2 categories. One is called Kadi Vidya, other one is called Hadi Vidya. It's a very technical point, okay? Kadi Vidya, other one is called Hadi Vidya. In fact, in Sri Vidya tradition, we first ask, so do you belong to Kadi Vidya or Hadi Vidya? So if you belong to Kadi Vidya, the way you do Lalita Trishati or you do Panchadashi chanting, I'm technically bringing, so it will be in keeping with Ka, starting with Ka. Whereas if it is Hadi Vidya, it will be with Ha. This is for a superficial way. Whereas in short we say Hadi Vidya means where Hara, Lord Shiva is a predominant. The lineage that follows or that looks at Lord Shiva is the ultimate. Whereas when we say Kadi Vidya, there goddess Kali becomes important. So the mother aspect when it's important is called Kadi Vidya, where the Lord Shiva is important becomes Adi Vidya. These are the technical points you will come across sometime or other. That's why in Srividya initiation, we look at all these aspects very carefully. Coming to the point here, that when we look at Yoga Shastra especially, so there Lord Shiva is always presented as Adi Guru, the first teacher. And when he is the Adi teacher, beginning the first teacher, definitely we refer to him, and also he becomes embodiment of Tyaga. Tyaga is nothing but related to moksha. Tyagena eva moksha. Only by tyagam, only by renunciation, moksha comes, not by any means. Even though jnana is direct means, jnana has to bring tyagam, or else jnanam is not complete. That's why as I grow or as I become more and more knowledgeable, things get stopped. I may have everything, but I will not be attached to anything. However, coming to Lord Vishnu being part of Abhyudayam, that's why he is Alankara Priya. One is Abhisheka Priya, other one is Alankara Priya. Alankara means ornament. So if you want to please Lord Vishnu, put ornament. That's why many people, what they do, they very they put saligram. Saligram does not need alankara because it's a mixture, because it needs abhishekam. You understand? Hey, Vishnu means alankara. Hey, put nice. Don't keep Vishnu. You want to keep Vishnu, but no ornament, okay? And that to this imitated ornament. Lord Vishnu means, put some gold, anything you want. You want to please Lord Vishnu. Very nice. That's why every Vishnu temple is very rich temple. They have to have gold, sufficient amount of gold. There's no choice. So coming back here, that Vishnu being related to Abhyudayam, in any Nitya Karma, we relate with Vishnu so that through the Abhyudayam, Nisriyasa should come. In fact, Adi Shankaracharya's Ishta Devata was Lord Vishnu, not Lord Shiva. That's why in his commentary, wherever he gets opportunity, he will bring Shaligrame. Anytime Saguna, Upasana, he wants to highlight or talk. So he will bring always a Saligram, not Shivalinga. Never. Thank you.
Swamiji, is it possible to grow out of fear, Swamiji? This, there is inherent fear. Is it possible to
See? Fear will be that long as long as there is some conflict in me. If there is no conflict, there is no fear. And that long conflict will be there as long as there is some confusion in me. So that means wherever there are two minds, two thoughts, there is confusion. there is conflict and there has to be fear. So in order to manage my fear, I have to manage my conflict, manage my confusion. There is no other alternative. Yes, we can do many things, including chanting Hanuman Chalisa, that takes care. But it will subside. Maybe Hanuman Chalisa will be helpful for you to resolve the conflict and confusion. But until and unless you resolve confusion and conflict, fear will continue. Thank you.
Namaste, Swamiji. Swamiji, if you could help us understand in more detail duality thinking process, Swamiji. Like if the thinking process is having duality or if the lifestyle is having duality, what does it mean? How do we look at it and address it, Swamiji?
When I say duality, always there is a constant fight between my viveka and my manomaya vijnanamaya kosha. There is always a fight. In fact, I remember in Odia language, we have few people, especially I liked one Swamiji Baba called Abhirama Paramahamsa. So he had written a lot of bhajans in Odia language. So he tries to explain a lot of things in that. So I am presenting a little differently than what he said. The mind and viveka, you can use the word, the informations, emotions that we have, that manomaya kosha, and vijnanamaya kosha, where viveka is predominant, is a relationship like daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. They can never go together. And imagine if mother-in-law and daughter-in-law go together, disaster. It's an amazing thing to observe, okay? Seriously wrong with both mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. I'm not telling you jokes. They are not supposed to go together. I hope you all will agree with me. Not present day mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, okay? Because present day the problem is the lady was not a mother. So how can she will become mother-in-law? And this girl who has become thing, she has not yet wife. How can she become daughter-in-law? I hope you understand the concept. So coming back, that how the mother-in-law tries to correct the daughter-in-law to align with the family lineage, even though she was not following properly earlier, okay? It's an amazing concept, which I have observed very carefully. But because of the fear of mother-in-law, daughter-in-law will be always on the toes. And because of that reason, daughter-in-law becomes good and well-behaved, disciplined, and also acceptable by everyone. But don't worry, mother-in-law gets bad name. That's another thing altogether. Let us not get into. In fact, we had Ashram, universal mother, Ashram mother-in-law. We had one, okay? I'm not telling you jokes. Her real daughter-in-law, so nice, so good. You cannot believe it. Imagine when she was our mother-in-law, okay? Imagine what sort of mother-in-law she was for her own daughter-in-law. Coming back. So this mother-in-law, daughter-in-law concept, as you visualize, you can visualize, because you people don't have much reference, that's why you people are confused. Same thing also, my dual personality. So what is daughter-in-law? Daughter-in-law has more information, young, looks everything to do fast, conveniently, approaches shortcut, and always asks the logic. This is in short a daughter-in-law's job. What is mother-in-law? Outdated, experience, adamant that I know what is to be done. If not, my life is going to go over. You will pay for it. You will go through it. It's your baby. It is your family. But I cannot tolerate. But once in a while, even if you misunderstand, I will point out. That's why before becoming mother-in-law, the person has to be a mother first. If the person is not a mother, can never become mother-in-law. Impossible. So, how this conflict always happens in the house. So also mind and viveka. In fact, I look at that house is good where this mother-in-law and daughter-in-law conflict continues in a healthy way. If there is no conflict, both mother-in-law, daughter-in-law becomes friend, that house is a disaster. I cannot accept. If both of them become friendly, that's how that house will be a disaster. So there should be check and balance. Like, accelerator and brake. Imagine brake joins with accelerator. What will happen? Hey, we need both. But sometimes what happens is mother-in-law are only brake, okay? They don't allow the accelerator to move. That's another painful thing. And of course, there are daughter-in-laws, they don't want the brake to exist. That is also equally dangerous. However, this mana and viveka, the mind and discriminative faculty also together. Mind, what it does, whatever information gets, ever fresh, nothing to hold on to, looks for shortcut, doesn't want to remember the past learning, excited with near future. Let me get out, let me see. Whereas mind, viveka, analyzes, remembers old, visualizes future, remembering the society, does many things. So there is a conflict. And this conflict, when they don't join at all, they don't agree with each other at all, then that becomes a split personality or dual personality. If the mind subsides, surrenders to viveka, time to time, and tries to change certain things, tries to align with the Viveka, then what happens? There will be no split personality. That's why all the psychologists, what they do, they support the mind to align the mind with the Viveka. It's not that they just support. No. So their aim is to listen to the other party. So while listening to, they somehow make the person to understand, hey, whatever you are thinking or you are doing is not aligned with the situation. Maybe you are right. Equally, others are right. You need to give benefit of doubt. So that means what? They allow the Viveka to become stronger so that you again surrender to your Viveka. So once a person starts surrendering to Viveka, and this surrendering process is called resolving confusion, resolving conflict. And when in a given time in a day, if this merging takes place, surrendering takes place more and more, I am aligned with myself. So the alignment, self-alignment is nothing. Aligning my mind with my Viveka. I would rather say surrendering my mind with Viveka. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone question? I can take one more question. No question. Eh? So all of you have become now daughter-in-law. So if this analogy present modern day daughter-in-law and this woman activist, they listen to it. Oh, this they will not say, Swami, this person is outdated. What nonsense is talking? Eh? Good, done. Thank you, all of you. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, no class. Only on Monday we'll meet. Om Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.